Alright, here's a replay between a random player who's random Terran this game and a Zerg player. Starting off here on Scrap Station, Zerg player sending his Overlord across to get vision, see what the random player is randomed. Now in this video we're going to see an example of a Baneling / Zergling Nidus into the Terran player's base, as well as some harassment from Banshees. Speed through this opening a little bit more here. Zerg player doing the Vespane Geyser, cancel your extractor to get another drone out here. Terran player hasn't gone for gas, isn't going for any type of Reaper harassment, even though he knows the other player's Zerg. Zerg player has his pull down here and morphing his 14th and 15th drones. Hasn't gone for gas though yet. Might be going for a fast expand. Terran player's put up his gas. So is the Zerg player. Going for a double extractor now. Supply capped himself there for a minute. Terran player meanwhile is just building some marines there to defend his wall. Second gas going up for the Terran. Second barracks is finished. Zerg player morphing a Baneling nest. Hasn't scouted the Terran. Assuming probably that said scrap station has a very large wall and it's kind of difficult to fully barracks / factory wall, that there will be supply depots in his wall. Could be going for Banelings based off that assumption. Or it could just be one of his standard strategies that he likes to try and get a drop on this map. Here the Terran player is getting a factory. He's throwing a tech lab on one of his barracks. And is getting his command center here. Morphing a few more Banelings. Now the Zerg player has built his Nidus and has it up away from the main part of his base, so if the Terran player scans, he's not able to see it there. Loading up his Nidus there. Now the Terran player does spot this very slow overseer here. You see the Terran player looking up and seeing it. Sending some marines to go deal with that. Meanwhile producing his first Banshee and getting a cloak upgrade for that Banshee. Zerg player starting his expansion. Zerg player is tech to layer here. Looks like he's still massing up some economy. Cloaking here almost finished for the Terran. And armory has gone up. It looks like he's starting a Thor, probably expecting some mutas out of the Zerg, especially on this map where there's so much open space around each base. It's very easy to harass with air units on this map. Meanwhile, slowly moving his Overlord. Terran player can't see it anymore, it's too far north. Terran player sending over his 2 Banshees to see if he can get some good harassment in here. And the Zerg player starting his Hydralisk Den and Evo chamber. Meanwhile, he has the Overlord up there, waiting to creep forward a little bit and start the Nidus. Nidus Worm starting up over here. And here the Terran player is harassing the Zerg base. He took out, or he's taking out the Hydralisk Den. Meanwhile, the Terran player notices and takes out the Nidus. Hydra Den is down for the Zerg player. He no longer has any air defense besides this queen he's about to lose. Terran player notices the 1 Hydralisk up and takes it down. Starts taking out the Spore Crawlers that the Zerg player is attempting to scramble to defend here. Zerg player mutating a new Hydralisk Den at his expo. But he's probably going to call it quits here before, as he's already lost the economy game. And that was the game. We saw some good Banshee harassment there. A strong use of a Nidus Worm, if it hadn't been detected, could have caused some real havoc in the Terran player's base. And some good focus fire out of the Banshees, taking down high priority targets. You always want to take out Hydralisk Dens as a top priority, as they will scramble to morph as many Hydras as possible. Minimizing that is always a good thing. Another good thing to aim for after that is a lair, so they can prevent Overseer morphing. But as this player already had one up, the Terran player opted to take out a few different targets, including the mineral line. Had he not already had an Overseer up and the Terran player didn't see one, he probably would have aimed for the lair and watched the drones run toward whatever expansion the Zerg player likely had, just so that way he could confirm its direction and take it out there. We also see that the Terran player has quite a few forces left in his base that would be able to take the number of Zerglings and Banelings likely that are still up on the map. A good example of harassment winning an entire game there.